What is going on, you guys? Boss Install here. We are back with my WWE 2K14 universe. Actually, not really. It's NXT, but oh well. We're already about 12 seconds into the video, so I'm not gonna fix it tonight. We have the conclusion of our tag team matches in this NXT season. It's going to be, as you can see, randomly picked, the Moreno brothers. I actually did not choose them, like handpick them to be in this match together, but they are in the match together. Nelson and Yanni Moreno actually tied right now. They've got the top two or the 2 and 3 scores behind Quentin Dunn, I believe, with something points. I don't know, but they're up there. They're up there, and they're going to be against Clayton Slade, and I think that's Fuego Caramesi over there. Is it Fuego? It could possibly be Fuego. So with how the points system works, these two are undefeated right now, separately undefeated, not as a tag team. They have never, wrestled as a tag team, but they're undefeated in singles competition. Both of them, I believe, are 3-0. 3-0 or 2 or 4-0. I think it's 3-0. I'm pretty sure it's 3-0. And so, there's a good chance these guys are going to win. In the event that they do, no matter what happens, one man will have one more point than the other guy. Because you know how it works. If you pin somebody, then your partner receives one less point. They'll receive 6 points while you receive 7. And it's the same with submissions. Whoever wins the match for their team gets the full points, and then their partner gets one less point. So there might be a little bit of sibling rivalry here to see who's gonna score that extra point, who's gonna get the pin and submission in their match. They're getting Clayton Slade and Fuego Caramesi. Fuego, actually, he does not have any points in this season. He has never won a match, and he's a good wrestler. Like if you watch this guy out there, he's got a very intricate, very very fun move set. And he just can't win matches. He's too small. He's the smallest guy out there besides Nelson. Nelson's about his height, and he's just running into the rope. And Nelson put a stop to it, and he's gonna walk over there right at the right time, just smacks him right across the face. And actually, the video quality is a lot better in this match than it was, in my last week's Raw. Raw was kind of a disaster because we had, there was quality issues, and so I was a little bit bummed out to be recording that. Because I couldn't even watch any matches. It was terrible. But this week is going to be a little bit better. At least NXT, I believe Legends will be, and Monday Night Raw, it should be better because it looks like I got everything worked out. Fuego with a big spine buster. You rarely see this guy spine bust, but you see him do that stuff a lot. High flying luchador action onto Yanni Moreno, and Nelson throws a punch, does not connect though. Looks like he's just gonna add insult to injury and try it again, and he connects a big cross body to Yanni Moreno, and it looks like he's going to flip him over, possibly try for a 10-point submission. He's got the, not a surfboard stretch, it's something there. Nelson breaks it up, Clayton gets in there, and right now he's groggy. What's Nelson going to do? Nelson gets him in a headlock. Big jawbreaker. He didn't even need to do that, but he just felt like it. He hasn't gotten to the match yet, just wanted some action. Clayton, I believe Clayton has gotten into the match a little bit, and Fuego just keeps going with those body splashes. He just continuously hits them, stomping right on the arm of Yanni. Now Yanni's finisher is a Death Valley driver, I believe, and so injuring that arm, injuring those shoulders, that's gonna take a whole lot out of him. And Nelson actually missing that time. This time Clayton gets the upper hand, but no, it looks like Nelson does. Nelson just gets out of harm's way though. I don't know what Clayton's going for. And Yanni just boom, right a jawbreaker. And looks like, I don't even know what those guys are doing over there, but Fuego with that big STO. He's going to go for the pin. These guys are doing really well this time. Fuego's he's turning up. He's got his game face on. He knows that he's got to get some points. And Nelson just goes flying out of the ring. And well, it looks like the big McGillicudder, shades of an old Curtis Axel. And 1, 2, and 3. Fuego Caramesi finally defeats the Moreno brothers. Fuego, he was in last place. This guy, that's pretty crazy. And Clayton too. Clayton gets some points too. He gets a big 6 points. Fuego's got 7. Wow, that's big, you guys. That's a big win. The Moreno brothers are finally beaten. They've never been singly beaten, but they were just beaten as a team. I thought they'd be twice as deadly, especially against two guys who haven't been doing that well. But well, I guess that just proves anything can happen in NXT. Alright, you guys, it's our second match of the evening. It's going to be Scott and Lavelle Harper Collins taking on Evan Caldwell and our points leader right now, Quentin Dunn. So, Evan Caldwell, I mean, he picked a good team, just like Fuego picked a good team, teaming with Clayton Slade. Evan Caldwell, he picked a good team too. I mean, he didn't get to pick. Obviously, as I've mentioned, these guys are all random. I literally pull names out of a hat and, decide who teams. So Evan Caldwell getting a team with Quentin Dunn. These guys never really met each other in action before. This time, except Lavelle and Quentin have actually faced each other before. I believe Quentin and Scott may have. I know Lavelle and Scott have. Evan Caldwell, I don't think he's seen any of these guys yet. So this is going to be a nice experience for him to get to wrestle a couple of new guys. And Lavelle looks like he just gets caught up by his old rival Quentin. Quentin Dunn actually, he faced Lavelle in the very first episode of the season, and he got a big victory over him. He kind of made Lavelle look like a little bit of a jobber, but Lavelle's kind of been coming into his own lately, getting some wins, getting some victories. So, I don't think he can be overlooked anymore. Now, speaking of the devil, Quentin Dunn getting in here. Evan Caldwell with the SG Gaming League elbow. I only call it that because people do it all the time. Quentin, obviously, he is kind of known in NXT, not for his, skill or his power, but for his weirdly long limbs. Quentin Dunn has extremely long legs and arms, and a very smaller upper body in comparison. Look at how long those legs are. That's insane. I guess, I mean, his finisher doesn't even involve his legs either. His finisher is like a Steiner screwdriver. Something in Scott with the athleticism, flipping Quentin Dunn, and just nailing Evan Caldwell over there. And Evan Caldwell, obviously a British man. He's right out of, I think, Cheshire, I'd have to say. I don't know the exact location of Evan Caldwell, but of his birth, of his residency. But yeah, he's somewhere in England. And wow, what's in him? Quentin Dunn just completely power slamming Scott, and looks like Scott's got Quentin's arm, and what's he gonna do right here? Fisherman suplex. Very, very fascinating move. Love when you see moves like that people don't really do anymore. You don't really see a whole lot of fisherman suplexes. If you watch the indies enough, then you see that stuff. I've been watching Ring of Honor lately, actually. And ever since Alberto Del Rio, Alberto El Patron, I believe his name is, in Ring of Honor. He wasn't the specific reason I watched it, but I turned it on one day, and he was there, and he wanted to wrestle Christopher Daniels, and Jay Lethal came out there, and I watched a match, and it was awesome. I enjoyed it. So I've been watching it lately, and it has paid off. I have not regretted it whatsoever. Looks like Scott's got that camel clutch on Quentin Dunn, and Caldwell breaks it up. Looks like Scott's really got the upper hand over here. Quentin takes it right back. It looks like going to the back, and a big atomic drop right to the ass of Scott. Now Quentin's got that Irish whip, throwing him right into that wrong corner over there. It looks like Evan Caldwell's going to get back in that match. I really like Evan Caldwell. I think he's going to prove to be a technician. Maybe a future William Regal, future Wade Barrett. Who knows? It's going to be fun to see. But he just tosses him right over his head with that German suplex. You can tell he's got a little bit of Greco background. Maybe he doesn't. Some guys who do Germans really don't, but it helps. It helps, I guess. German or Sambo or Greco or Sambo or Judo. Maybe he's just good at suplexing. I have no idea. But Scott takes advantage. Scott is a very unusual looking wrestler. He kind of reminds me of an indie Kevin Steen. That wasn't actually my intention when I created him, believe it or not, but he turned into a little bit of a Kevin Steen character. And are also known as Kevin Owens for you NXT fans who don't watch the indies, which there are very few of them. From watching NXT, I can tell you that. Most guys, they know what they're talking about. Like they do the Olay chants whenever Sami Zayn is out there, which is always fun to see. I kind of like that stuff when people make subtle references to their careers back then, because that just proves that they appreciate, their old careers. I mean, not that they appreciate, but just know of the work that they have done in the past. Whenever I hear anybody chanting Olay, 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 Olay when Sami Zayn comes out, it just means they recognize that he was a really awesome wrestler in the indies, and they've seen his stuff. And I think that's very cool, and he's just as cool on NXT. Honestly, the indies are just like NXT. Triple H has full creative control over, or NXT is just like the indies, or are just like, yeah, NXT is just like the indies. Triple H has full creative control. He's doing great stuff with it. I'm enjoying Hideo Itami, enjoying Finn Balor, enjoying Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, Kevin Owens. All that stuff going on. I like it a lot. I think it's awesome. I think all that stuff is awesome. And I got to see a couple of those guys in Universe mode next year. I know Adrian Neville, Corey Graves, Sami Zayn, Connor and Victor from the Ascension. I know those guys are coming next year. Can't promise anything about the rest of them. I think it's a little bit too early for to include those guys. Maybe if they're in next year's game, you know, WWE 2K16, which is way too far in the future to even think about, since 2K15 kind of just came out. I mean, I haven't even started my Universe mode. But yeah, it's going to be fun this year because I'm going to do a whole lot of stuff with 2K15. I know I said that about this game, but yeah, I got a lot of big plans for it. This game, I mean, it really just didn't work out once my PVR broke and I had to like go all summer without doing much recording, or all this school year so far. It's kind of like a stress reliever, you know, stress from the from the old grind. It looks like Evan Caldwell just beating the mess out of almost called him Kevin Steen, Scott over there. As Quinton Dunn cranks that submission, he almost got himself a big 10 points. That would have put him way in the lead. He already is. Quinton Dunn, he was sort of, he wasn't like one of my picks to win the whole thing, but, you know, he was actually, like, I didn't even really consider him when I thought of, like, who's going to win. It looks like Quinton Dunn's got his, no, that wasn't his finisher. It was a gut buster, though. Yeah, just, I don't know. It didn't occur to me that Quinton Dunn might win, but he's doing stuff over here. Looks like this is his finisher. I love this move. The screwdriver. Shades of Scott Steiner, just dropping him right on his head. Absolute craziness. And referee Charles Robinson going to step in there. 1, 2, and Scott does not headbutt fast enough. Quinton Dunn scores himself at Evan Caldwell. A little bit more points in this contest. He gives himself 7, while Evan Caldwell gets 6. I wonder if that's his first 6. It's very no, I think he won. He might have won once in the past. I don't quite remember, but I know that, you know, I know he's won again. Looks like these two are, you know, very proud of each other on very good terms. It's always nice to see. Yeah, it was a very, very fun match to watch. You know, congratulations to the other two guys. This is just how it had to go. Alright, you guys, it's time for our main event of the evening. And it looks like we're going to have that match again, that classic match that we have in these tag team situations where there's 2 guys left. And since we can't put them in singles matches because we're doing tag team stuff, we're going to let these guys pick an opponent or a partner from the main roster, each of them. Shane Riley, and I believe the other guy is, I don't know, Adam Ford, that's who it is. Shane Riley and Adam Ford, they each get a pick from the main roster. And any wrestler, well, almost any wrestler, you can't pick, you know, too big of a star or else they might not agree to it. I mean, I guess you could try, but, you know, this is, you know, Shane Riley's going to get to select a SG Gaming League superstar to be his partner in this match. Let's see who he picks. Well, looks like I can't tell which member of the Shield that is, but looks like, oh, there's a man. There's Seth Rollins going to be his partner. I was gonna say those guys aren't in the Shield anymore, but you know they all the same Titantron and music and everything. So Seth Rollins making his first appearance out over here on NXT. You know, he's a main roster go right now. He's a little bit of an up and comer. You know, he's not too good, not too bad. You know, in the sense that, you know, he's getting some wins, but you know he's not really, you know, I don't know. He's a newcomer. He's a rookie. You know, he's doing better than any of his other Shield brother. He's actually getting a couple wins here and there up here on the main roster. But you know, main roster dreams are what all these NXT guys have. So Seth Rollins hopefully can show Shane Riley the way in this match, lead him to a big, big victory. But their opponents, Adam Ford and whoever his partner is, we don't know that yet. Obviously, here comes the man, no nonsense himself, Adam Ford. The Ford NXT, that's his Twitter handle if you want to go follow him on Twitter. I don't know if anything will come up, but you know, we will see. Guess you can try it. You don't have to. You don't have to follow Adam Ford. He might have some insightful things to say. or it might not be a real Twitter handle, and I might have just put that in just to put something in. But regardless, Ford NXT is here, and Adam Ford, he's actually been taken a liking to by our NXT host slash commissioner this year, Sergeant Slaughter himself. For whatever reason, Sarge likes this guy. He likes his attitude. He likes his fierceness. I didn't know what else to call it. Dangerousness. Um, Willingness to make a statement. Sergeant Slaughter, obviously a main roster goer as well. He's been on the Legends program for a little bit now. The whole year. He's got to face off against some pretty big guys, pretty big names like Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, and it looks like Adam Ford's partner is none other than the Harvard Law grad David Otunga. And this seems like a very formidable team. I like who these guys have been selecting because they've been a lot like the superstars themselves. David Otunga, he's an intelligent guy. He really doesn't do any of the flashy stuff, but he seems a lot like Adam Ford in a way. So it's gonna be nice to see David Otunga and Adam Ford taking on Seth Rollins and Shane Riley here. That's gonna be a very good match. Can't wait to see it. I really cannot. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be very fun to watch. That once David Otunga gets to the ring, we can get going with this match. Actually, I've been talking about the Royal Rumble a little bit. Obviously, it's in a couple weeks now, and but what we haven't really talked much about is the NXT Royal Rumble. It's actually going to be next week. 10 guys stepping into that ring to determine who's going to get a big, I believe it's 15 points, which is bigger than, any match has ever gotten them. So this is going to be like the biggest match of these guys' careers, honestly, in this that Royal Rumble next week. And Shane Riley with that big, wow, look at those moves. Shane Riley he's just killing it out there. He tags in Seth Rollins almost instantly, and Adam Ford's still in that ring. Adam Ford hooking up with Seth Rollins. That's gotta be pretty cool if you're Adam Ford. And just exact same move. And another one. Look at that. He just pretty much just duplicates exactly what Shane Riley just did. And big high-flying maneuver does not pay off, though. And Adam Ford looks like he's going to go tag in David Otunga. Otunga and Seth Rollins locking up here for the first time. I don't think they've ever been to battle with each other before, but the first time for everything, especially not in NXT. But, see something new every day. Obviously, Adam Ford's first time locking up with an actual SG Gaming League superstar. It's got to be pretty cool. Even if he doesn't win the show and, he just has to kind of go his separate ways, he can still say that he's wrestled a potential future star. He wrestled Seth Rollins. It's pretty good. It was brief. He didn't have much action against the man, but he still did something in there. He still wrestled him. And David Otunga now hammering at Seth Rollins at the traps. This guy and actually David Otunga. This is not his first appearance on NXT. David Otunga was the partner for one of the NXT stars last year. He was a partner, and he actually faced off against. He was actually put through a wall by Victor Sapp. So that was very fun to watch. He got put through the barricade, and it wasn't even like just a regular spear. Victor Sapp picked him up and just ran him right through the barricade. Now Shane Riley's coming in. David Otunga is hoping not to be 0-2 at NXT. I think that would set some sort of a record for the SG Gaming League superstar who's lost most times at NXT as a guest. Whatever you're gonna call these guys, as a I guess guest participant in the match. But Shane Riley with that big jawbreaker on David Otunga, and Otunga just running STO. Otunga's a mainstay. He's been in SG Gaming League since the very beginning, since WWE 12. He's seen a lot of action over his years. He's more seasoned than obviously anybody in this ring. And Otunga and Adam Ford go for that SG Gaming League elbow drop. Adam Ford around the back. Looks like he's just taking him with a big, big wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling like slam there, belly to back, mat slam, something like that. You can call it that. You can call it whatever you want. It's a free country. It's your country. You can do whatever you need to do. Now Shane Riley just getting kicked in the stomach by Adam Ford. Adam Ford with that big chop right to the jaw, just rattling that jaw. Now Shane Riley, he's going to Adam Ford actually reverses it, Irish whips him right into the corner. Adam Ford kicks him right in the sternum and repeated just blows into that corner. This poor guy, poor Shane Riley. Shane Riley, the smaller competitor. Adam Ford, not a huge guy himself, but he's looking like he's pretty big. He's got a nice physique out there, and just big shot right to the head. And I don't remember if we turned off blood in this match. I was thinking about that. I don't think we've had an NXT guy bleed yet. Seth Rollins gets back in there and just kind of walking across the ring, landing some shots at Adam Ford, and Ford Irish whips him. What's he going for here? Big, what did you call it? That was D'Lo Brown's old move, like the lowdown or something. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Who knows what that's called? Now Seth Rollins, David Otunga in here once again. Otunga he's been pretty much ruling the match. Anytime David Otunga gets in the ring, he's been doing big stuff. He's got him in that submission hold that I forgot what it was called the last time. Still don't know. Adam Ford, he's got to get a little bit better on those breakups. He, very unsuccessfully did that. He wasn't very good at it. But Seth Rollins, that was my dog flipping out. I don't know if the microphone caught that. It might have, but he freaked. I don't know what that was. Otunga with the eye poke. Very underhanded maneuver. As we reach the around the 7 or 8 minute point in this match. It's starting to get I can't think of words today. Shane Riley in there against Adam Ford. Shane Riley just big sweeping kick of some sorts. I'm not really sure what to call that, to be honest with you. Adam Ford just guillotines Shane Riley on that rope. Looks like he's taking a breather right there in the middle of the ring. And Adam Ford looks like he's going to go over to David Otunga. Seth Rollins gets a tag as well. Seth Rollins, and it's been a lot of Seth Rollins and David Otunga stuff in here. It hasn't been a whole lot of, the rookies kind of, they've been in it. Shane Riley's tended to stay out a little bit, and David Otunga, big belly-to-belly slam, and Adam Ford's going to rush over there, hopefully do some damage. He just misses him. Misses Shane Riley, but that time it was a nice clothesline, and Seth Rollins kicks out, though. Rollins, very agile man, very defensive when he wrestles. This guy's he's a good competitor, and it looks like Otunga just with the rope break. Fortunately, he was too close to the ropes to make that into anything, and wow, big power slam. It's a shame that Otunga won't be joining us in next year's season. He's unfortunately not in the game. Rollins is, but Otunga is not. That's a shame. He's been here since the very beginning. He's wrestled in every season. And Rollins with the big Hurricanrana, and Adam Ford just kind of runs in there to see what he can do about it. And Rollins with the, looks like the schoolboy. And easy kick out by David Otunga. It looks like that is not his finisher anymore, but the sliced bread number 2. 1, 2, and... I thought that was a 3 count. I was very sure of that. Thought it was going to be a 3 count. Looks like Seth Rollins is owning this match now. David Otunga can't really do anything about it anymore. Well, he kind of is. I guess it has been back and forth. Hasn't really been any one guy doing any damage, and Adam Ford's back in there against Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins Irish whips him into that wrong corner over there, and looks like, I'm not sure what this is going to be. Looks like, it's a signature of his, the big turnbuckle powerbomb, just rattling every organ in Adam Ford's body, and a pin, 1, 2, and kick out at just 2. And Adam Ford drop kicks Seth Rollins, quite big athleticism, and a move like he just did before, the D'Lo Brown lowdown, I believe. I don't know what that's called. Quick break up by Shane Riley, and looks like another one, sliced bread number 2, flooring Adam Ford, and he's gotten on top of the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Seth Rollins and Shane Riley will take the victory. And because Shane Riley didn't get the pin in this one, it's only a 6 point. It's only 6 points for Shane. But Oh, either way, a win's a win. I think this is Shane Riley's first win ever, and David Otunga's second official loss in NXT, unfortunately, but he was against some very game competition. Seth Rollins, very, very good up-and-coming athlete, and that was a very good match. I applaud these guys. I had a lot of fun watching that. Alright, you guys, we're going to take one more look at this leaderboard before it changes dramatically next week with the Royal Rumble. Looks like Quinton Dunn in first place, Yanni and Nelson tied for second. And as you can see, everything else is as follows. That is it for me, you guys. Bust and Sauls out.